Formula One is full of intriguing stories, many involving negotiations that never came to an expected end. Recently, Helmut Marko, consultant for Red Bull, shared one of these stories during an interview with the podcast Inside Line F1. In a surprising report, Marko revealed that Red Bull was very close to hiring two of the biggest names on the current grid, Fernando Alonso and Lando Norris. Despite the mutual interest in both cases, negotiations did not go ahead, and today these pilots follow other paths in the category. The first case involves Fernando Alonso, two-time world champion. Marko explained that Red Bull has shown great interest in the Spanish after their consecutive titles with Renault. "Before we started winning around 2008, we were talking to Alonso," revealed Marko. However, the negotiation never came to fruition, as Alonso apparently did not take the Milton Keynes team seriously. At the time, Red Bull had not yet earned its reputation as a dominant team and was looking to build a legacy. Meanwhile, Alonso opted to return to Renault after his controversial departure from McLaren, leaving Red Bull with David Coulthard and Mark Webber as its main drivers. Red Bull's second major failed negotiation involves Lando Norris, one of the most promising talents of the new generation. According to Marko, the team was very close to securing Norris's signature for AlphaTauri, at the time Toro Rosso, even before he made his Formula One debut. "We had serious discussions and a contract ready for Lando Norris," said Marko, emphasizing how much the team saw potential in the young British. However, McLaren, which already had a contract with Norris, discovered the negotiations and used a specific clause to block any possibility of cooperation between the driver and Red Bull. Norris, who debuted in Formula One in 2019, has shown a steady rise and is currently one of the biggest threats to Max Verstappen's dominance. The two, in addition to being close friends, now fight directly for this year's title. Verstappen's lead over Norris, who seemed unshakable at the start of the season, was reduced to 62 points. The Constructors' Championship fight is also fierce, with McLaren just 8 points behind Red Bull, further intensifying the rivalry between the two teams. These episodes raise an interesting question about what might have happened if these negotiations had worked. Imagine Fernando Alonso competing for Red Bull in 2008. Or Lando Norris, alongside Max Verstappen from the beginning of his career. No doubt, this would change the course of Formula One history and the current dynamics of the championship. It is interesting to see how these negotiations show the complex backstage of F1, where contracts, clauses, and strategic decisions can change the fate of drivers and teams. Despite the failures to bring Alonso and Norris to Red Bull, the team certainly has nothing to complain about, since with Max Verstappen, he won victories and titles that solidified his position among the great of the category. Now the question remains, how do you think the history of F1 would have changed if Alonso or Norris had raced for Red Bull? And of course, don't forget to sign up for more Formula One backstage stories and analysis. We want to hear from you in the comments.